Good morning, my friends. It's Kate Lanigan McGregor, Rise Trainer. It is Friday, which I'm going to start calling Fit Day because we're going to talk about health and wellness on Fridays. It is October 27th, and I am late to get to you. And I want to talk about that. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Hold on a minute. We're going to have to wing it today because I didn't put my quote up and I'm not going to remember it. So this is just a total wing job. I I talked to you on Tuesday, I think, about about busyness and running from yourself. And so I'm going to kind of and that idea about it being a trap. And some of you gave me such great feedback. And also about being a try hard. So those were the couple of the messages the other day. So it's kind of funny and ironic that or maybe it was Wednesday. I don't know what day it was, but I talked about like busyness being a trap and how I made myself sit in it and not go to the grocery store. And I was, I'm so awesome. And of course, the next morning I wake up and the next like later that day, I realized that I really did in fact need to go to the grocery store. So I was out by 6 at the grocery store yesterday morning, so I could fit it in. Anyway, so ironic. I guess that the bottom line on that is make sure you're taking care of things. And let's move on to health and wellness and being fit and being your best you. And I'm going to do a little bit of self confession here. And honestly, I never know what I'm going to end up talking about. So let's be surprised together. So, for those who are new to this, I'm just going to give you a quick summary of my health and wellness. My first, well, my second, but my biggest profession before real estate was health and wellness. I owned a fitness center. It was back in the 80s when it was like step aerobics and personal training, and I stayed in the fitness field actually until I got into real estate, and then they overlapped for a while. And so I was always about, and the name of my company was Forever Fit. And the reason for that was because I I talk about that centurion, the cent I never know how to say living for a century decathlon. So centurion decathlon. And Forever Fit was about that also, was about how do we structure our lives so that we can be strong and fit and able to do whatever we need to do and live the life that we want. And I've had a couple curveballs thrown at me, broke my back, and that like just set me into menopause, which also just made everything like off. Like I felt like everything in my body like died, and it took a lot of years for me to get balance back because it wasn't like my body didn't like break like right in the middle, it broke on a certain side. And it was, anyway, took a while to come back on that. And then I had some health issues that like really kind of, again, it was all internal but it kind of set me back also. So I've been on this journey of trying to really understand this idea about like my body, my health, my wellness, and that goal of longevity. And some game changers for me. I'm going to tell you about three game changers for me this year. One was Outlive. It's a book by Peter Attia, MD. I probably bought about 10 or 20 copies and given them out to people. And everyone's like, oh, great. Another like thing to keep my door open with. It's a big, thick book, and it's probably behind me, but it is behind me. So, but anyways, Peter Attia, the name of the book is Outlive. And he has such good information in there. At least it feels good to me. And so I started trying to incorporate some of the things he talks about. And then the second thing was my cousin, Kate Marshall, has a company called it's called Balanced Balanced Group Wellness, and it used to be called Balanced Workouts. And she's brought it into group wellness, and she's like amazing. And when I realized that I was having trouble getting my own self better, right? So I can't make everything that I need for myself done, even though I try. So I reached out to her and I said, can you help me with this? And we have been working for her for getting this program that she has to everyone. And we got busy, but again, like if you've been following me, you know that there's been a lot of not me, but personal things that have kept me from some commitments I've had. So, anyways, so stay tuned. That is something maybe we can get out by the end of the year. But I said to her, like this is, and I started explaining what's going on with me, and she said it's the dopamine. So dopamine became really and if you like really in my forefront, when Mike Simonson wrote a book or a white paper called Hacking Happiness. And it talks about the four major hormones and how it affects real estate agents. Actually, he's in the real estate industry. And that was like, wow. And cortisol, right? Dopamine and cortisol. So those are like our stress hormones. Dopamine is like that quick, exciting, woo, woo. And cortisol is that stress hormone, right? So you've all seen the ads where they have the lady with the poochy belly, and it says that is cortisol. So I wanted to kind of get to understand that and maybe bring down my stress levels. So, anyways, Katie Marshall it said to me, like, as soon as I explained to her some of my eating pattern, she goes, "That's dopamine." She goes, "You're looking for dopamine without eating that stuff." And it was like that. It was just like this thing, and I said, "Oh my god!" Like, so back to that idea I talked about with busyness and escaping or whatever. And if you're using food for escape, or you're using snacks, or you're whatever, like it was like this thing I did, like just and again, so anyway, I'm like, all right, dopamine, cortisol, eating. So not only in real estate about calming down, slowing down, now it goes to eating and this whole thing, right? So and then recently I purchased a device that measures when you are in fat burning and when you're in carbohydrate burning. And they say, okay, so if you're high on the carb burning, which is like you want to have a balance or you want to have fat burning, right? It says it can be caused from again what you're eating, or it can be caused by your stress levels. So anyway, I come to find out like um, so there's this cortisol piece with the food that's causing these numbers. And anyway, I got to go. I've got an appointment. I forgot about that. If you're interested in these kind of things, please let me know. I want to be here for you. I would love to do this together. Learning about ourselves, learning about how we can be our best versions of ourselves is really important. And that doesn't mean most productive or most wealthy or most like it means the best you. So, so be ready for Fit Days, aka Fridays, and let me know what you want to hear more about or talk about, and let's do this together. Thanks so much.